Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be communicating with you at this great event, even if I am not there personally to do it. Um, Working on this project next has been a highlight of my year 2008, particularly the fact that this is a new newspaper, that it signifies a beginning at a time when so many people are already predicting that newspapers are going to die. So the industry is watching very carefully about the development of Next and how it happens. What I have done, since I cannot be there to tell you the story, is to put together a little presentation that will guide you through the behind the scenes of making Next for Garcia Media and my team. And basically, the making of Next is interesting at many levels. First of all, I had never worked in Nigeria, so it was really a remarkable experience for me to be there, to know this culture, and to work in the midst of a different environment altogether. And we owe it all to the publisher and creator of this newspaper, Dele Alogeri, with whom I had the pleasure of working before at Newsday in Long Island, New York. Dele signifies everything that a journalist should be and everything that a friend should be. So for us to work together a second time around, especially on creating a new newspaper, was really truly a highlight of my career. But meeting Lagos was also very interesting. Getting to know this city, driving around, seeing all this energy that is in every corner of the city of Lagos, was fantastic. I was inspired at every stop. And obviously, it's a place where cultures converge, number one. Number two, people converge in every corner. And you see a very radiant, youthful environment that we try to bring into the newspaper as well. Here you see me in the streets of Lagos, one of many photographs that I would take as I mingle with the people, which is really the only way that a designer can capture the spirit that you bring into the newspaper. I remember that I would get out of the car from time to time and tell the driver to just let me go into a little shop, let me see how people live, not just see it from the distance in the car. One of the highlights was actually sampling the local cuisine. One day, actually, in the process of putting together this newspaper during one of the workshops, I tried for the first time a goosey soup. And obviously, I cannot find a goosey soup anywhere but in Lagos or in Nigeria in general. So I have tried to find it in other venues, including New York City, but so far not so successfully. Getting to know the art scene was also important. For me particularly, it was fascinating to see that there is such a vibrant art scene in Lagos, and I got to sample it, I got to meet with the artists, to sit with them in the coffee houses, and you can see me at the end of one of these tours sitting down in a corner of the gallery saying, well, my God, this is too much, I am sort of overwhelmed. One particular piece of art included newspapers, and it was a great inspiration for me. It was a piece from the 1980s, and the artist had used the texture of newspapers to create this. But the real true inspiration came when I saw this painting by the man who eventually became the the creative director and design chief here at Next. Victor Ekehamenor, maybe I am not doing justice to the last name, but Victor and I became fast friends. I began to collect his art, but this one piece by Victor told me everything I needed to know about the color palette that we would put into Next. So here are the early dummies. From the very beginning, I wanted to convey the idea of color. Why not do the logo of the newspaper in a variety of colors, as opposed to the traditional using one color every day? We did them in orange, we did them in green, we did them in lavender, and color was basically the key element of this design from the very beginning. This is the first dummy that we created. We also wanted to give the idea that if you saw the front page of Next, you got an idea of what the big story of the day was, but we also navigated you to the inside. These are the more refined versions of Next. By now, we were concentrating more on the use of typography, knowing that we would have a color palette that would be vibrant, but not particularly super bright. That it will have muted colors, pastel colors, along with the more saturated colors. And the closer we came, the more we knew that we wanted to have a logo that would be simple, a logo that would be very youthful. A new newspaper had to also had a name that was catchy and that was hip, and not a name like Tribune or Gazette or Telegraph. Working with Easy, the art director, we also experimented with a variety of other logos. Why not play with the letter X? Obviously, these are all tryouts that we did during the workshops, and many of them were abandoned in quest of the final one. The workshops were the key to creating Next. We did not create Next in a laboratory. We did not create Next in an office in the United States or in Europe. This project was created totally in workshop settings. Here we are at the end of the workshop, everyone smiling, happy with the results of that day. Here I am with Ron Reason, who was my assistant along with Christian Fortanet on this project, resting at the hotel at the end of a busy day. And here you can see the front page of the Next that you're going to have. It has, interestingly enough, sort of, if you see this element in red, becomes like a home. Next will be your home for news. This is where you would like to come. But it can be yellow, it can be red, it can be a variety of colors. And then on Sundays you have this splash where the word Next becomes sort of an aquarelle, a color palette of many colors, and a paper becomes a broadsheet. This will probably be one of the most vibrant Sunday newspapers that you'll be able to find everywhere, with a supplement called X2, which will be features, entertainment, the life, the vibrant life of the city in the arts, the way people live, the way people do things, and the way they look for entertainment, dining, and travel, and so on. The life of the project will be a style guide that has been prepared using all of the consistent elements that will be time and time again. These are some of the pages that we did in conjunction with the style book. On Sundays you will have an arts and culture section that will be very unique in this market, just telling you about all of this rich culture heritage that you have, but not only of what is happening in Nigeria, but what is happening abroad as well. The Lagos Review eventually will take you into the world of literature and books, and readers will see the tabloid during the weekdays. The Next on Sunday will be your weekend Sunday package. And one of the things that we have to learn is that the design of Next is based on the following philosophy. It's a newspaper that is easy to read, with ease of navigation, with legible typography, with secondary readings to help those scanners, of which we have many in the audience. It will be a unique product in your market. It will be a product that everyone will be very proud of. We at Garcia Media, who created, are extremely proud of it, and I think that this is a historic moment in journalism for Nigeria. It is a historic moment in journalism for Africa as well. I send you all my best wishes today. I wish I were there, and I know that this is a project that is very dear to my heart and that will stay with me for years to come. Thank you very much.